Welcome back. So it's been a while since my last video, and so I wanted to get y'all updated on what's going on. Remember these things? Yeah, I remember these things. They're now useless. Here's why. I am now cutting my own. I guess they're die cuts, but really they're just they're cuts. If you remember, right, those rolls of hula hoop tape I'm now able to cut and make into some pretty cool and pretty inexpensive and pretty quick. Look at these. I've been going a little crazy, but at the same time, you know, what used to take me forever in a day and goobered up on these things are now simple. They're die cut, and I've got literally in maybe a week I've cut this many items. These are actually for the inline blades where there's no clevis. You just put it in, but I figured out how to put a little bit of sparkle on these things. It's actually pretty cool. At the same time, I've also gotten these items. Look at how nice, and if you go close up, look at how nice these are. There's no flaws, there's nothing. It's perfect every single time, and I can do a lot of them. So you want to know how I do it? Well, it's easy. Here's how. Remember these guys? Well, I've gotten a lot more, and this is now my new stack. It's nothing huge, nothing great, nothing fancy, but you know, kind of a fish scale one. And then I've got the big rolls of prism tape, kind of the de facto standard. Oh yeah. Anyway, so here is my secret. Yep, you got it. I got an Explorer Air. This is the ultimate do-it-yourself die cuts. And so basically this little machine right here will die cut anything and everything you want. So this machine right here will do some incredible work regarding cutting. So all I do is put it on one of these sheets, just put strips of it across here, feed it into the machine, and on my computer, which is over there, what I do is program it to cut whatever shape I want, and it goes through and cuts it exactly how I want.
So here we've got a French blade. I have a template open, basically what is a vector image graphic open in Inkscape. You can see it there in the bottom. It is a freeware program. It is a vector-based program similar to Illustrator. This program allows me to create shapes that are vector images. And what vector images are well, they're shapes that keep their shape whether they're zoomed in, resized or not. So you keep the nice sharp edges. So if I go ahead and zoom in here, you can see that the edges are still nice and sharp. It's not going to change, this shape the closer you zoom in. Whereas, a normal picture will get pixelated. A vector image graphic will stay the same. So here in Inkscape, what we'll do is get this back on the screen first off. Sorry. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save this as a SVG, or it's a vector graphic type of image. It's a .svg. And the reason why we're going to do that is we're going to import it into the design studio for Cricut, which is the cutting machine's design studio. So it'll allow us to cut shapes and so on and so forth on the machine. So go ahead and click on Save. You can see that I've got several in here that are already saved. I'm not going to actually save this. They are SVG. This will output in both its proprietary Inkscape or a plain SVG. Both will actually work in the design software from Cricut. Okay, so now we'll switch over to Cricut Designer. Here it is. As you can see several projects I've already got open. Several different things with different types of blades, multi-cuts. We're going to go ahead and open up one that is just a single line, basically a single section of tape that we're going to cut and show you guys. So we'll choose this one here, which is basically, I've imported that SVG shape, so we'll customize it. I've imported that SVG shape, made a copy of it, lined everything up, made sure that it fit on the page, and you'll see it as soon as I click on Make It, which is basically the preview of the cut. Notice that each square there, each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is actually exactly 1 inch, which is very helpful to me because all of my lure tape is exactly 1 inch rolls. There are some that are smaller. So as you can see, I click on Make It. This is what the actual cut is going to look like. Notice the position on the paper. It's not exactly aligned with the grid. I think that's actually a good thing because you do want some space, some margins on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and click on Continue. It's communicating with the cutter, and we're going to go ahead and go load it right now. Thanks. Just 1 second.
Okay, so what we have here is the mat, and this is what they call a mat. I guess most people call it a Cricut. Whatever, Cricut, whatever. So it has this film that comes off. This is tacky. Alright, so let me unstick the tape here. So this is exactly 1 inch. Makes sense? But I've got a giant roll of it, so this is 1 inch times 150 feet, which is the way to go in my opinion. You can get the sheets, WTP, some other folks, LureTape.com I believe has some, Mad River Lures has some pretty amazing stuff. This, however, is just plain old simple hula hoop tape, and that's where I got it from. So I'm going to go ahead and place it on here, and I know exactly where it needs to go because it's not going to be exactly according to this grid. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on there, and then I'm just going to cut off the tape right here. Don't really care about the edges, but that should be enough to actually cut. Does that make sense? So you can see it right here. Okay, so let's go to the cutter. Okay, so now we're ready with the mat. Notice that once we said ready, go ahead and cut, this button lit up. So we're going to go ahead and load it. This button is actually the loader, so we're going to go and press it. It's going to go ahead and load it up and then position the cutter. And once that is done, it should be ready to cut, which is what this button is for. So we're going to go ahead and cut. And it's going to go ahead and do its thing, load into memory, reset itself, and it's going to go ahead and cut us some French blade. Okay. Notice how that goes back to blinking. You know what that means? That means that this still has in memory what we did on the computer. So we can actually put another piece of tape on there and then cut and then cut and then cut. Pretty cool, eh? Alright, let's see how this looks. Okay, so I was taking it off. I can actually feel the cuts on it. So now I'm going to go ahead and peel off the extra. So all I'm going to do is peeling off the extra. And then I'm going to peel it off pretty sharp or pretty close to the item. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel off. There we go. Keep going. And then there we go. So now we have a perfect set of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 perfectly cut French blade number 3s in, what, 30 seconds with some computer time? Maybe the 10 minutes of computer time. I would say 20 if you're going to do from scratch. But that looks pretty slick. Alright, let's go ahead and put it on some more. Okay, we're back at the... And here is the set that we just cut. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use Scotch tape. You know, what I've gotten is some clear Scotch tape. You can use the normal Scotch tape, but if I'm placing these on a lure and I want it to be straight, I want to be able to see right through it. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off a piece. There we go. Pretty clear. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on one of these. Okay. I usually just massage it on there a bit. And then when I peel it off, I make sure that it starts. If it doesn't start, sometimes you have to really kind of massage it off. So now the tape is on the masking tape. Okay. And what's nice about this is my fingers do not touch it. So let me go ahead and grab one of these. So I'm going to use a number 3 golden, or brass actually. Now I'm going to take, so this is the sticky side, this is the side that's going to be up on the tape. So now I just use the tape. I learned this from old Spinner Dave's videos. And that guy knows what he's doing. See how I can place it exactly where I want it? And then I go ahead and push down. I can even tape it on the desk for a second just so I can make sure that that is down. Okay. Put some pressure on it. Sometimes you can use another spinner blade to actually really just get that completely stuck to the tape. Okay. Alright, so now go ahead and peel the tape off backwards, making sure that the tape stays on the lure. And there we go. What's nice about that is that is exactly perfect. exactly perfect. I will use sometimes the same technique to paste the back end. That way we have sparkle on both ends. But isn't that cool? And now I can go ahead and cut some more of these. I just need to place them on the mat. And I can do as many or as much as I need. And here's the finished product. Even at extremely close focused angles, they're perfect. And there's my logo. And ready to be sold. How cool is that, guys? So it took me from one of these would probably do the equivalent of maybe 30 seconds of work on the other on the machine. It would take me at least 20 minutes on one of these stupid things, and they would get buggered up and it would be ridiculous. I think these do serve a purpose, but you know, I've moved on. I need better quality, and here's where I'm getting it. What do you think, guys?